world we live in. That's On Point with me, Meghna Chakrabarty.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. It's 1 o'clock. I'll call the Joint Review Board to order. I'll call the roll. Mark? Here. Tom? Here. Paul? Here. Roberta?
Here.
All right, folks could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting?
Wagner will move for approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Hearing none, minutes are approved. All right, first item is 5, review of public record, planning documents, and the resolution passed by the Plan Commission and Common Council. And we have Greg from Ehlers. Greg, do you want to tee us up then?
Sure. Good afternoon. You all received copies of the official record of the TID number 26 consideration, copies of the resolution approving the TID district passed by the Plan Commission, and also a resolution passed, approved by the City Council. So both bodies approved the creation of the TID district, so it is back before the Joint Review Board here today for your final consideration.
Anything else on that one then, Greg?
No, before the resolution, I'm happy to give a quick recap of the TID district if that's the pleasure of the committee.
Yeah, 1 second. So is there any further discussion then from the board regarding item 5, review of documents? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept and approve the reports?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor of accepting and approving those reports, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. All right, item 6, consideration of resolution approving the creation of tax increment district number 26. Greg, take it away.
Thank you, Mayor. Since the Joint Review Board met on March 17th, there have been no substantive changes made to the TID number 26 project plan. We included a copy of the summary presentation in your packet. I have that up on the screen just to highlight the key provisions of the TID district. This is a mixed-use TIF district. It has a maximum life of 20 years. In terms of the properties within the boundary of the district, it's approximately 62 acres. It encompasses the Volrath Company and extends east to include the Old World Creamery site, as well as other areas that could be suited for mixed-use development in the future. The total project cost identified in the project plan is $3 million, which includes some development incentives, allowances for administrative costs, as well as some half-mile radius infrastructure improvements and some sewer, street, and sidewalk improvements. The initial phase of development, which is the Volrath expansion, is estimated to have an incremental value of $8 million. In terms of just the financial performance of the district that was included in the project plan, based on that $8 million of incremental value, the cash flow analysis illustrates that the project costs can be supported by the initial phase of development. Additional project costs could be funded if tax increment is sufficient to support those costs. The district is projected to remain open for its 27-year maximum life. So that $8 million incremental value is from the Volrath expansion. That value alone generates about $2,465,000 of tax increment over the 20-year life of the district. The primary initial expenditure within the district is a pay-as-you-go development incentive for Volrath, which is capped at $1.6 million. And then we show a portion of the capital projects identified in the project plan being funded, and those costs can be recovered over the life of the district as tax increment is generated. And, future project costs can be added through subsequent amendments, but really the primary purpose of this district is to help facilitate, the initial expansion of Volrath. So we're at kind of the final step of the process here in the TID creation, which is final consideration by the Joint Review Board. Again, no real significant changes to the project plan from what was presented back in March.
Thanks, Greg. Greg, questions from board members at all? No. Cool. Greg, just quick question. This TID primarily is to help, like you said, expand Volrath, and they're helping relocate to bring more jobs from other states to the Sheboygan area. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. All right. City staff, any additional comments that you would like to add? No? Anyone from the public wishing to add any feedback? Mark? You want to come to a podium? Mike, or Mark, can you come to a podium? Just introduce yourself.
Mark Mahoney, 832 6th Street, Sheboygan. I just heard two different duration lengths. I thought I heard 20 years first and then 27 years later. So maybe you have it all figured out, but I was just curious about, I thought I heard two different numbers.
Greg, do you just want to clarify that?
Yes, the TID district has a maximum life of 20 years, so 2047 is the final year of increment collection of the district.
All right. Does that clarify that, Mark? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Greg. Is there further discussion? Is there a motion?
I move for approval of resolution creating TID District 26.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Roberta. All those in favor, state aye. Is there any objections? Hearing none, chair votes aye. That is approved. Next is review of annual PE 300 reports and the performance and status of the Sheboygan's active tax increment districts as required by Wisconsin State Statute 66.11054 MF. Is this Caitlin?
Good afternoon, everyone. Annually, we bring forward this summary document in order to show the expenditures and revenues in the tax increment districts of the city. As you can see, there is the new TID from 2025 included this year, which is the former Aurora property that is currently building the homes from the former hospital site. I'm happy to answer any questions or go through any items. If you have specific questions related to dollar amounts or things, I'm happy to always provide a more extensive listing of every expenditure. They go through committee, but in order for you to really see what every item is, I could always provide that detail. The items at the bottom, for the TID balance, those are actuals for the TID balance at the end of the year. The future costs and future revenues, those are the best estimates that the finance department, in conjunction, we do work with Ehlers to come up with the best estimates is what we can for the future of the TID, but some of them, as you noted, are 20 years long, and it's hard to get all of the numbers precise in this exercise. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Additionally, I did just want to point out to the Joint Review Board that all of the tax increments districts have a section on our planning page where all development agreements are saved. These annual reports get saved there as well, and any project plans. So if you ever have questions, that's also a reference point for you on the city website as well.
Thank you, Director Krieger. Just general overall question. Overall, TIDs are on schedule, financially doing all right?
I would say that the TIDs are all, we'll say, performing as expected for where we're at. The Amazon warehouse project in TID 18 definitely helped with moving forward on that TID. And as schedules change, we adjust as needed on the cash basis as well, or on the accounting side as well.
All right, thank you. Questions from board members? All right, is there a motion to accept and approve the report?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Paul, second by Roberta. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Any objections? Chair votes aye. That is approved. Next meeting, TBD. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move to adjourn.
Moved and seconded. Moved by Tom, seconded by Mark. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at 109.